Thank you so much. Once again, Ryan Gabriel at the drums. And on lead trumpet, Julia Maher. Julia Maher on lead trumpet. Now, we've reached that point in the evening where we have our last tune, and some might be rejoicing. I don't know. You've got to get up early maybe, but we're so thankful you could be here tonight. I also want to give it up to all the tech, sound crew, volunteers, and Mr. Rob Lewis for making this possible. Can you give it up for him? Thank you so much for this community. All right, we're going to play one more tune, and this is a composition by the great trumpet player Kenny Dorham. He's kind of a lesser-known voice compared to Louis Armstrong or Miles Davis, but still a very potent voice. And he's one of my favorite trumpet players. Being a trumpet player, I admire what he's done with his compositions. So I decided to arrange this for the band. And it's never been played except by this band. And it's so nice to have a big band to workshop the tunes, and they sound so great putting in the work. You're going to hear from the saxophone solely, saxophone section on the soli I wrote for them. You're also going to hear once again from Silas Farley. And last but not least, you're going to hear from Nick Carr on the tenor saxophone. Yeah. I also want to give it up for some other people in the band who are awesome contributors, even if they are not soloing tonight. They're wonderful people and musicians. So please give it up for, from Ferris High School, Alex Rickoff on the trumpet. And on the trombone, been helping us out this last semester, Dashel Stuckey on the trombone. He also sings tonight in with the band, just cycling these parts. He's a professional trombone player, and we needed someone to help us out. Give it up for Matt Peterson at the trombone. Somebody else who's been helping fill out the band this last semester, he plays with the studio jazz ensemble, where he plays lead trumpet, but he's been able to help us out in the trumpet section. We have some illness and some different things going around the music building, because we're such a tight-knit community. So give it up for Isaac Crawford Heim on the trumpet. Another one locking it down on the low end and the bass end. He's a wonderful musician. He's a junior this year, and he gave his junior recital in composition. He's a comp major. How about it for Nate Moody on the upright bass? All right. You want in for one more? This is Short Story by Kenny Dorham. Thank you.